Hi and welcome back. Today we're going to make those yummy, delicious cinnamon rolls that everyone seems to love. And we're going to start with 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour, a 1/4 cup of sugar, one package of dry active yeast or instant yeast, and a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. You want to mix your dry ingredients together first. Okay. Then you want to stir in the milk, and when you use yeast, if you use that dry active yeast, you need your milk temperature to be about 110 degrees. I'm using instant yeast, and we need it about 120. You add your milk, you blend that in, followed by 3 tablespoons of oil, one egg, and you need to beat it on high for about 3 minutes. You need to beat it for, like I said, about 3 minutes, and then you need about a 1/4 cup of an additional flour, and just add it into the dough into a mass form. Okay, that's good. Okay, it should look about like this. You want to sprinkle your surface with a little bit of flour. Alright. And we're going to knead it for about 3 to 5 minutes. If you use a stand mixer, like a KitchenAid mixer, you only have to do about 150 kneads. When you knead it, you push, you fold, you turn. And you do that about 150 times, or until it's a spring-like consistency. Since I use a hand mixer for now, I need to knead it a little bit more than that. So probably anywhere from about 250 kneads. Okay, that was about 250 kneads, and you want it, when you know it's good, smack it like a baby's bottom, but you want it to be able to spring back up. And then you just take a bowl and you cover it and let it rest for 10 minutes. While you're waiting for your dough to sit for the 10 minutes, you can make the filling, and it's a 1/4 cup of brown sugar and 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. And you just mix it together and kind of get, break up the brown sugar a little bit. You know, most recipes for cinnamon buns calls for a lot of butter, a lot of brown sugar, a lot of cinnamon, but it doesn't need all that, and that's what makes it a little bit healthier with mine. You're going to need also softened 2 tablespoons of butter or margarine. I use a trans fat-free margarine, which makes it a little bit healthier, and the milk I use is 1%. Now, for those who use soy milk, I have no idea how your cinnamon rolls would taste, but we could do it with soy milk one day and see how it turns out. All right, see how it looks now? It's all good and mixed. Okay, the dough is set for 10 minutes. And what you want to do is just lightly flour the surface. And you want to roll your dough out to where it is a 12-inch by 9-inch. And when your dough springs back, you know it's set long enough and you know you've done it right. Okay, when you have it into a 12 by 9-inch shape, you want to take your softened butter and just take a spatula and spread it around on there. Get it all nice and buttery. It's nothing like the flavor of butter. Butter's like bacon. It's just good. Be sure to spread it to the edges. Okay. And when you've done that, just take your mixture and spread it all around to the edges. Having a good spatula to do this makes all the difference, and it keeps your hands from being gooey, which there's nothing wrong with goo. If you got kids helping you, it would be fun. It's fun to have your kids help you. It teaches them how to cook, and it gives you that special family time. And you know, I have children, I have nieces and nephews, and I'd love to have them in the kitchen as well. Now, once you do that, you want to take the side that's the 9-inch, not the 12, and you want to loosely roll it. Don't do it too tight. It makes a difference. Just gently roll it. You usually end up with this beautiful log. Now, another little tip is a lot of people cut the ends. I do that as well because it's nothing but that dough there. It doesn't really have that flavor. Using a serrated knife is really good for this. Just chop off the ends. And another easy tip is use butter when you grease your pan. I know a lot of people don't like that Pam spray. You can use it, but I grease mine with butter. You want to take your knife and do a little mark at halfway, and then divide those in half, and then divide those in half to get your 8 pieces. Now, the easiest thing for me to do, I use dental floss. I had to buy some last night. Okay, unwaxed. You take your dental floss. I don't know how much, that depends on you. I just do a long string. Okay, and what you want to do is slide it under to where those little marks are, and you want to cross it over, and it gives you the perfect cut. And you don't have it mashed and have to reshape like when you use a knife. You could use a serrated knife, but look at this. You see what I mean? And you just, depending on how big your pan is, I use a 9-inch. You can use a 9x13. You can use whatever size, and you can cut your cinnamon rolls according to that. Now, when you have that done, you want to take a piece of plastic and you want to cover it tightly, and you want to put it in a warm spot to rise for about an hour, hour and a half, or until it's doubled in size. Now, while my dough is rising, I want to give you a couple of tips. One is you can make it in advance and you can freeze it. But when you go to thaw it out, don't rise it before you freeze it. But when you pull it out of the freezer, put it in whatever pan you wish it to be in. Take a little butter or Pam spray and put it over the plastic. Stick it in a 200, heat your oven to 200 degrees, cut it off. Take a shallow pan and put water in it. Set your other pan that has your cinnamon rolls in it in your oven and do what I call a quick rise. It takes about an hour, hour and a half, but it thaws it out and it rises it at the same time. But you have to be sure to have that water in there. Hi and welcome back. I just pulled my cinnamon buns out of its warm spot and they have risen beautifully. You don't want them to rise much more than this because when they bake, they still rise a little bit more. You want to put them in an oven that is preheated to 350, and we'll pop them in and I'll be back in here in about 15 minutes. Hi, welcome back. I just pulled the cinnamon rolls out of the oven and look at that, and they smell delicious. I wish I had smell-o-vision. Can you smell? They need to sit in the pan and cool for about 10 minutes, and while they're doing that, you can make your glaze. You can use any kind of flavoring that you want. Like last time I used orange, the time before that was lemon. This time I'm going to use vanilla. It is 1 cup of powdered sugar. It is a 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla or whatever flavoring. You want to put your flavoring in first before you start adding your milk. And it's about 2 tablespoons of milk, and you want to add a little at a time depending on the consistency of what you want. You can add a little more milk, add less milk. That's completely up to you. Okay, our cinnamon rolls have cooled for 10 minutes. I've finished my glaze. Yes. You can put it out however you like. You can smear it on, drizzle it on, it doesn't matter. It all goes on the same way in the end. Oh, wow. Very, very nice. Smells so good. When is somebody going to invent smell-o-vision? Don't they have edible wallpaper? Yeah, we can have some smell-o-vision going on in here. For all these rich, nice, beautiful smells. Then you want to sit it on. Then you want to wait about another 3 minutes and let it just sit there and absorb into the cinnamon rolls. You see? So I will be back in a couple minutes. Okay, let's see. Let's see how it turned out. You know you just want to come over and have some. Bev, I see you drooling. Just come on over. Have one. Look at this. Oh my gosh. TJ Cinnamon ain't got nothing on these. I'm not joking. Thank y'all for watching, and y'all have a great day and enjoy your cinnamon buns.